Coming to you live from ancient Greece, this is Optimal Play. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Jordan.
And you did not go to Gen Con, and yet a copy of Carl Chudyk's new game, Aegean came home to you from Gen Con somehow.
That's right. Friend of Optimal Play, Candace,
Yes.
brought me my copy of Aegean, which is the next game from Carl Chudyk, designer of Innovation, Glory to Rome, Matainai, and other games.
And I'm excited to check it out.
I'm very excited to play it.
I think. Have you actually played this yet?
I
don't know if we
played
covered
a
that.
failed pseudo game last night. We started at like 1 a.m., so it was kind of a disaster. This will be the first real play of Aegean for me.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that this is your first game too.
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, we're taking some risks doing this on camera.
Taking some risks.
All right, well, why don't you teach me the basics right after I remind our audience to like the video. And if you're new to Optimal Play, subscribe to the channel.
Please do. Yeah, there's great content on here, especially
the videos of Jordan in them.
Yeah, especially the videos I'm in. Yeah, that's right. This one, Guards of Atlantis, and a variety of others.
We don't have a Patreon or anything. Clicking those buttons is literally the only way to support us, so we appreciate it when you do. With that, we're at sea, I guess. That's all that I know about what's going on here.
You know, we're actually going to be on islands, so...
Damn it! Even the
Why
one
don't
thing
you
I
flip
knew...
this over, it'll help me teach.
The one thing I knew was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, in Aegean, we're going to play until one of our deck runs out, and that's
wow.
trigger
Okay.
the end of the game. There are 44 cards in each
deck.
of our decks. Yeah, they're pretty big, but you use a lot of cards at one time. And the primary way to score points in this game is by accumulating goods at your home island. So this mat represents your home island.
Okay.
And you can have goods there, and a good is anything tucked on the right side of your board with this little pot showing, okay? And this is a marble good.
They all have pots? That's not a different symbol. Okay.
So this is a marble good. Any card from your deck, which I could also acquire, would be a bronze good. And there are 3 other decks that aren't in our game, but there are dye, wood, or timber, I think, and electrum. And so all of these can be used to form goods, right? And
so it's the same good. The good just depends on what faction it was from?
Right. It depends on the color of the card. So all of my cards are this white marble color. They're all marble.
I'm seeing it. It lists them here. Okay, so that's not just flavor. So the goods do even have different mechanical effects, but only certain ones are available depending on what factions are in the game?
Every good type will be available, even though these factions aren't in the game.
We're using
that's
those
why
decks.
These decks are here.
Got it. Okay.
And so at the end of the game, you're going to score. Each good is going to be worth points equal to the number of that good you have. So essentially, you're going to square the value of the number of each different type of good you have. So if you have 3 marble, that would be 9 points. If you had 4, it would be 16, and 5 would be 25, etc. So you want to get more and more of the same type. There's no bonus for collecting a set of variety.
Got it.
Okay. So, with that in mind, that's the primary way to score points. And in fact, our 2 factions each have their own other scoring condition. None of the other 3 factions do, but we'll cover those at the end.
Okay.
So that's the primary way to score points. The way the game is set up is you have your home island. We each have our own home island. And then there are these spaces which will be inner islands. And at the beginning of the game, there will be 1 card from each of us out here. So there will be 2 inner islands set, and then potentially we could have 3 more inner islands.
Okay.
And so now I'm just going to sort of go over the options for your turn, how you're doing all of this stuff. So on this player, which I think is actually pretty good, you've got 4 choices for how to spend your turn, option A, B, C, and D. But most of the time, like 90% of the time, you're going to be doing option A. So what option A says is take a card from your hand. You'll have a hand of about 4 cards. And discard it. And what you're looking for on this is the preference of the card, which is represented by this symbol here and also a bar on one side of the card. So there are 5 preferences in the game, and they relate to the 5 colors. So marble is a preference. Like this card is white all around. That's the material of the card. It's my card. But it also has this white little symbol and this white bar. That indicates it's a marble preference. There's timber, electrum, dye, and bronze.
Okay, right? Yeah, so like I see, like this card would be bronze. This card would be bronze if tucked under the right side of the board, but it has an electrum preference.
Correct.
Which is shown by that bar down one side and the like coloring in the corner of the card.
Right, and it says it.
In plain text up here. Okay.
Right. So, when you discard a card for its preference, that preference is going to let you take a corresponding action. So here are the 5 different actions that are based on the preferences. First is the electrum preference, which lets you add a good. And what you're going to do is discard a second card from your hand. So let's say I discard a purple card from my hand. A die preference card. That means I'm going to create a die. And so I'll go to the purple deck, grab a die out, and this says specifically at an inner island. So I would put this at one of the inner islands. It could be this one, it could be that one.
Okay.
And now there is a die sitting here at this island, and then I would draw 2 cards. So that's how you, and these would go to my discard pile.
This card itself is the island.
That is the island.
It's like
so yeah, ignore
is the
these
island.
4 symbols around it.
And then what's tucked under it
is what's there.
The good that's at the...
Right.
Okay.
And so, obviously, goods are how you score points. So that's the first step, is creating a good.
Okay.
The second step is sailing that good. But before we cover that, I'm going to cover populist really quickly. So the bronze preference, which is... Obviously, you have bronze cards, but those are material. So the bronze preference allows you to... Let's set these aside for a second. The bronze preference allows you to add a populist at an inner island. Whenever a card says add, that means from your hand. So if this was my hand, I'd play this, and I'd use that bronze effect to take a different card and tuck it as a populist at an inner island. And so now at this island, there's one of my populace and one die good. And the goods don't belong to a particular player. Okay. So that's the bronze action. The timber action is add a ship. And so add, again, has to come from your hand. So you can take any card from your hand and tuck it as a ship. And so those are 3 of the 4 things you can create at an inner island.
Wow, okay.
Okay? And that would be my ship.
And so add always means it's from your hand. The only one that's not from your hand is the good, which it didn't use that word add, it said create.
That's correct.
Okay, got it.
And yeah, all these Chudyk games are very finicky about their terminology, and they mean specific things. So yeah, that's the difference between create and add. And then finally, we'll cover really quickly the marble action, which lets you add a temple at any island, even a home island. So the populace, the ships, and the goods have to be added at inner islands, but temples can be added anywhere.
And this was our home island.
And this is your home island. So I could play a card with a marble preference. I just have to find one. So this would be my card play, and then I would add, so take another card from my hand and tuck a temple, and I could do it here or here or there. Or here, if I wanted to. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
So you can build temples on my island.
I sure could. I probably wouldn't, but I could.
I don't know what temples do, so
there you go.
Maybe
find
you
out.
would, maybe you wouldn't.
All right, so those are the 5 basic actions, but a few of them have a little bit more detail. So, actually, no, we haven't covered die yet. We'll cover die last. There's a little more detail with the ship action. So instead of creating a new ship, you can sail any or all ships at one island. So when you sail, you're going to, let's say I have multiple ships here, actually. You're going to move all of the ships at one island from that island anywhere else. I think you can move them to multiple different places. I'll double check that. But each ship can carry one populace or one good, right? So maybe I take this ship and I sail this good to my home island. So now these get tucked here. And now would you look at that, I've got a point.
Oh, wow.
That makes sense?
Easy as that, huh?
Easy as that. Now, there is a rule about sailing goods, which is you must be in control of the island. And so to be in control of the island, you have to have the most populace. And if you don't have the most populace, then the populace will stop you from stealing their goods from them, right? So you must... And if there is a tie, then the winner of the tie is the owner of the island. And that's true in a 3-player game. Let's say you and I were tied at one of the purple players' islands, and they had no populace, they would still be in control.
So there's owner and there's controller. And those, again, mean 2 different things?
There's no owner, don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
So, but because this is a purple card, any tie goes to the purple player whether they're involved or not.
Got it.
That's only for a 3-player game.
Okay.
It's not a rule we're going to...
And then the populace printed on the island, that doesn't count, it's only the tucked...
Yes,
okay.
Nothing around the island itself counts.
Got
You're
it.
only looking below the blue. Okay. So that's the sail action. The final action here is die, which is, so you would play a card with a purple preference, a die preference, and then you take another card, and, well, you have 2 choices. You can either create a new inner island, so one of these empty spaces would become Megala.
So that's the add an island.
That's the add an island.
Okay.
And then you may activate it. So when it says activate, it means do the text of the island. Okay. And we'll cover that in a second. Or you can just activate an island that you control. So this island already here, I can activate that.
And that means do the text on it.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So those are the 5 sort of main actions, but that's only the first half of option A. Because with option A, first you're gonna you're gonna do the preference, which is gonna be one of those actions. Then you're gonna resolve the text. And well, actually, then you may resolve the text if you wish. Now, one rule in Aegean C is that you can only resolve the text if you can do all of it. If you can't do all of it, you can't do it. So you actually have 3 choices after. So let's say I played this card, I did that, I now have 3 choices. I can either do this text, which says add 3 temples to an island where you have no temples. Well, add means from my hand, and unfortunately I only have 2 cards in my hand. I can't do that because I can't do all of it.
Interesting. Okay. So it's Guards of Atlantis.
It's Guards of Atlantis. The other 2 choices are, I could just discard this, that's fine. Or I can say, this is now my quest. And I'll put it to the side over here, that will be my quest. We'll come back to what matters about quests, like how quests work later, but you can only have 1. So if you already have a quest, you cannot add another card as your quest. You can't even add one and discard the other one. No. Once you have one, you must use it, or it will sit there forever.
So if you're taking option A on your turn, your goal is to play a card which has a preference that does something you want to do, and that has text that you can do and want to do.
Yeah, if you can.
Right?
You probably can't. Okay. It's probably pretty tough to do all of that. Okay, so the second option on your turn is option B. It's place a card directly as a ship or a populace at your home island.
Oh, okay.
So that doesn't require discarding another card for preference. It's just any card from your hand is just a populace or a ship at home.
Just tuck it under. Okay.
Okay. Option C is interact with your quest. So when you take the complete your quest action, it's as if you played this card for the first time again. So you get the preference, then you can resolve the text or discard it. The only thing you can't do is make this your quest again.
Oh, so you can't just keep spamming that
cannot
preference
keep
by
spamming
keeping
that
it as a quest. Okay.
Right. So that is the complete your quest action. You can also take that to just abandon your quest, and that's all you would do on your turn. Disaster. Oof.
Sounds like a bad
Don't
turn.
do that. Yeah. Okay. And then finally,
but doing that is the only way to get a different quest there if you for some reason wanted one.
That's right. So that's why you don't want to take a quest that you're not sure you're going to be able to do
to complete at some point.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Option D is refresh your hand. So your hand size at the beginning of the game is 4 plus revered temples. I'll cover what those are in a second.
Okay.
You draw back up to that number. So if you have 1 card left, you would just draw 3, assuming your hand size was still 4. Then you resolve a conflict if needed. So, first let's cover revered temples very quickly.
Okay.
A temple, one of your temples is revered if for each different type of good at that island. So, really quickly, in this case, there is 1 type of good at my home, so one of my temples can be revered. If I had 2 temples here, only one of them would be revered because there's only 1 type of good.
Okay.
I would need a different color.
If you also got a bronze or something there, then they would both
Then I would have 2. And that works on a per player basis. So if you had a temple over here, you would have 1 revered temple and I would have 2.
Oh, interesting.
Because it doesn't matter that there's 3 temples here because they belong to different players.
And there's no tracking that a temple doesn't become revered and then stay revered. Like if you lost, I assume there's ways that you can lose your goods,
yes.
and then you'll have fewer revered temples after
Absolutely.
that. Okay.
So revered temples matter because they increase your hand size.
Oh, yeah.
Right. You draw up to 4 plus your revered temples. Okay. The way conflict works is...
Sorry, one more question about revered temples.
Yes.
You can have temples on inner islands, right? And does that do goods at inner islands,
yes.
which ultimately are there to eventually be claimed by one of us in the long run, right? But they do cause the temples there to be revered and increase your hand size?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's at an inner island or a personal island. Final part of option D here is conflict, which says you just discard the top card of your deck. Here it's green. If an and then you check each island with your populace with any green card. So in our game, a green card at this island could only be a good because the green player is not in play. Does that make sense?
So it doesn't care about it's not looking at the preferences, it's looking at it
right.
at the color.
It is looking at the material, which is the color of the card itself. So conflict in this game will be rare because it will only happen when you discard a card with a white preference or a bronze preference most of the time.
Okay.
So a conflict will happen at an island with your populace and with a matching material card matching the preference of the card you discarded. At that location, sack 1 populace from every other player, meaning sack means discard essentially. Or if you control the island, sack 2 populace of any other player. Okay, so that lets you discard your opponent's.
Yeah, so let me repeat that back to you. Wait, 1 conflict. Okay, it's one card that you flip, but then you check all islands.
Check all islands for at least 1 card.
So at all islands that have a matching card
and one of your populace.
So it doesn't matter how many, just one.
One will kill 1, or if you control the island, you kill 2.
Oh, and control comes from populace.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how conflict works. There are only a few other rules. We've already covered what Revered does. Vainglory says, if an inner island has more than 11 plus 1 per player, so in our game 13 cards total at the island, including this island card, everything there is discarded.
Oh.
The gods smite you for having the balls, I guess. What's the right phrase? The
nerve.
The nerve,
to
put
upstage
so
them,
much stuff on one island.
Okay,
You fool.
yeah.
So everything would be discarded in that instance.
The audacity.
The audacity. That's exactly the right word. Okay. And that's it. Those are all the rules of the game. Except, obviously, you need to know what all the cards do, but you'll read them as you go.
So
there is... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, so... And maybe there's text on cards that changes this in some way, but all of the end game scoring comes from goods? Nothing else?
Except our 2 factions each have a special ability that can score more points. So we're going to cover those right now.
Okay.
So each faction in the game, and there's 5, on the back of their board is printed their special abilities. Each has 2. So we'll go over yours really quickly first. You have Discipline. If you end your turn with exactly 1 card in your hand, you can discard it to take a free basic action using its preference. During that basic action, you use the top card of your deck as if it were in your hand if you need to add a ship, a populace, a temple, or discard a card for a good.
So the basic action is its text, right?
No, the basic action is the preference. So adding a good, adding a ship.
Okay. So that's right. So option A here says spend a card for its basic action, then use its effect. And so basic action is got it.
Is the preference, right. So if you have 1 card left, you can, at the end of your turn, you can basically take another turn with that card, but only using its basic action.
Okay.
And then you also have Admiration here. After you use Discipline, meaning after you had 1 card left in your hand, you did all that stuff, check the preference of the discarded card.
The card that I've played.
Right. And, well, actually, yes, of the card you played, and of each inner island that you control. At each such island, add a face-down card next to the island from the top of your draw deck, and you'll just put it sort of next to it like this. That's a statue. Statues are worth 2 points at the end of the game.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
So it goes on to say a statue has bronze material for vainglory and conflict, but cannot be moved or otherwise affected.
Right.
Oh, so it does trigger vainglory.
And it triggers conflict. If that's your only card at that island for whatever reason. Okay, those are your 2 special abilities. Those are each worth 2 points. My special abilities are Decadence. If your deck ever has exactly 1 card left in it, place it face up near your home island. This can interrupt an action requiring you to draw several cards. So if I had to draw 3 and then I only had 1 left, I would just stop that action and I would do this instead.
Okay.
If the game ends and you have not done this yet, then you just take the top card of your deck and put it there. At the end of the game, each of your revered temples with a preference matching the preference of that discarded card is worth 5 points.
Oh.
But they have to match the preference.
Is there... Huh, okay. That sounds like just a crapshoot, but maybe there's ways to manipulate the bottom card of your deck.
I'm not sure, but
I'm
thinking there's a way to put a card on the bottom of your deck. That's what I'm hoping for. And then finally, Faith. Before conflict, even if not necessary, discard 1 card from your deck for each of your revered temples at inner islands, 1 island at a time. For each discarded card, you may choose to create a good at that island by discarding a card from your hand matching the discarded card's preference. So it's kind of expensive, but I can make more goods sort of in the middle of my redraw. And if my deck has exactly 1 card left in it during the Faith action, stop and use that card for Decadence instead. So whenever you have exactly 1 card left in your deck, it's Decadence time.
Okay.
And Decadence does not end the game. So, by the way, the game ends when your deck is empty and you go to take option D, where you refresh your hand, but there's nothing left to draw.
Okay, so the end game trigger, and it's triggered for everyone when a player does that, right?
Yeah, the game.
So
ends.
whenever a player basically needs to, well, actually, yeah. So if they need to, no, I can answer my question here. I was gonna say so. It ends when someone needs to draw and can't, but
No,
only action D.
It needs to end when someone chooses to do action D and their deck is completely empty.
Oh, so
It has to be empty
if I
before you
if I
start
have
action.
if I have an empty hand and one card, I can take a refresh hand action and draw that one card. That doesn't end the game.
That's not-
the next time I do it ends the game.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, so shuffle
right.
up your deck, and we'll get playing.
Pretty much a master of this, I think.
I think so.
This isn't confusing at all.
I mean, it's one of those things where Chudyk games can be a little tough.
A little bit.
But they're usually worth the juice is usually worth the squeeze, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think this sounds really interesting. I think I was telling you off camera that I'm not a fan of Matai, however you want to say. That's his previous latest game.
I'm not sure of the order of games. I think that's probably right, though.
But I'm definitely a player, and I play a lot of the more thematic games and stuff. But if the theme doesn't make sense to what you're doing, I have the hardest time grokking it. And that is my obstacle there. Is like, I can't... Now it's been too long since I played it, I can't think of examples. But there are so many things that you do that I'm like... The word that they use for this has nothing to do with what you actually do, and I just cannot
That's fair.
grok that game.
This feels a little more thematic.
I don't have that same problem with Glory to Rome.
There you
So
go.
even though those games are quite similar to one another, something
Right.
about the way they handle their theme...
Totally.
One works for me and the other doesn't. This one I feel like will work for me in that respect. So,
Yeah, you're
so
shipping,
I'm
you're carrying
optimistic
stuff.
about that. Yeah.
I'm hoping that it's great. We'll see. So to start the game, as you do in I think almost all Chudyk games, you're gonna just discard the top card of your deck onto an island.
Okay.
And whoever has the letter closest to A, which is you.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I know Innovation, that's how you do it. Yep.
So you'll draw 4 cards.
Okay.
And you'll take the first turn. I'll draw 5 cards for being the second player and take
Wow.
the second turn.
Okay. And so my island is Agios. Oh man, this is gonna be a fun time trying to pronounce these cards. It lets me draw a card for every island where I have 2 or more populace. And how do you trigger the island's effect again? There's a way to do it, right?
Yes, it's the die preference. So
The
you
die
can either
preference.
add a new island and activate it, or just activate,
Or activate an
an
island.
already
Oh,
existing
okay.
island.
Okay. With control.
Right.
So do I say I was taking a die action this turn? Do I control this when there's no populace at all here, but it is...
My understanding
My
is
card?
yes, because we're tied there.
Oh, right. Okay. So now I just need a second to figure out what the heck I'm doing. All right, so I am going to want to...
Oh, there's one more thing I should mention.
Mm-hmm.
We do not, in our decks, have an equal distribution of preferences.
Oh, interesting.
Your deck will have more bronze preferences, because you're the bronze deck. My deck will have more white preferences in it. And I'm not sure exactly what the distribution is. And then also, every card is different. So your effects are not in my deck, my effects are not in your deck.
Flipping through the deck, it seemed like the opposite, but maybe I just...
I could be wrong. Maybe maybe Sparta has more of a different symbol for some thematic reason.
Yeah,
I flipped through my deck and found that I had 25% marble symbols, and there's obviously
which is
5.
yeah.
So.
Oh, interesting. Okay, because at a glance it seemed maybe it's just because the brown on brown doesn't stand out as much or something. But at a glance it seemed like I had less of bronze than other things.
Possible.
But okay, it's good to know that it's not like a symmetrical. Everyone has 20%
Right.
of everything.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to be spending a card to do its preference action, then using its effect or making it a quest or discarding it. What does the verb Zephyr mean?
Zephyr means essentially teleport.
Okay.
And yeah, there are a lot of keywords in this game, which I
Yeah.
did not teach. But yeah, Zephyr means move without a ship, essentially.
Let's see.
Move exactly the cards indicated from one island to another, retucking them under the appropriate edges of the destination. Zephyr ignores all sailing rules.
Okay. I can't do this text unless I can do it all, huh?
Correct.
So I don't see any text that I can do here. So I probably just want to get some populace down. Which means I want to play a bronze card.
Okay.
So I'm going to play Stavronisi Hydrus. It's a bronze card, so I'm going to add a populace at an inner island. I will use this card as a populace.
Okay.
Its effect would be add a temple to an island for each populace and ship pair of mine there. That feels achievable, so I'm going to make this my quest.
Okay.
And that's my turn?
That's your turn.
All right.
All right.
Over to you.
So I am going to go ahead and play Polyagios, which is a timber preference. I'm going to make this into a ship. And then I'm going to use this effect which says add 2 temples to an island. And I will add these 2 temples to this island here.
Whoa.
And so I now have 2 temples and a ship at Kato Freya. And actually, you know what? I want to add these 2 temples. I'm realizing this is dumb. I'm going to add these 2 temples to Athens because I figure I'll be more likely to get revered temples over here as I bring goods back. So that's my turn, and this card is now discarded.
Remind me, do temples or even revered temples inherently do something because they increase your hand size? Do temples inherently do anything?
No.
If they're not revered, they are just a thing that other cards might interact with.
I believe that's correct.
Okay. All right, and so for my discipline ability, I would like to end my turn with exactly 1 card in my hand.
Mm-hmm. If you can.
So I can't. I need a ship. Yeah, I don't see a way that I really can do that here. So I need a ship for multiple reasons here. So I'm going to spend a timber card.
Mm-hmm.
That lets me add a ship to an inner island or sail any or all ships at one island. So I'll add a ship. And then this... So, okay.
And by the way, that here does not necessarily refer to the place where you put the ship.
That was going to be
anything.
Oh, that was going to be my question. Yeah, since now the action here says add a populace here, then Zephyr it and add one of your ships here to an island.
Yeah, I think the use of here is for when it's an island out here. Then it means there, but when it's on the card like this, you can use it anywhere.
Okay. Why don't I? Oh wait, I can't add a populace because I don't have cards in hand.
Correct.
Okay,
and you can't make that your quest either.
So this is just discarded.
So that's just discarded.
Okay, but now I have a populace ship pair here, so this quest could
be used.
Could be used in the future, but
Correct.
It's your turn.
Right. And so I am going to refresh my hand. So I will draw up to 4 because I don't have any revered temples. I already had 1 card in hand, so I'm only drawing 3.
Okay.
And then conflict would be discard the top card of your deck, but I don't know if you actually do conflict if...
It says if needed, which I'm guessing if needed means only if there's an island with like both of our populace.
Does it say if needed? Oh, and then yeah. Okay. So there is no conflict. And then my faith ability won't trigger because I would discard a card for every revered temple at an inner... Oh, that's why I wanted to put the temples at this inner island. I'm just going to move those back. I hope you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Show off Sparta. Okay.
It's a learning game.
Yeah. So that makes sense. But I don't have any revered temples, so that's fine. And yep, I don't have decadent, so I'm done. I just refreshed.
Okay. I'm also going to refresh. Back to you. I hope you thought fast.
I sure did, because what I'm going to do here...
Oh, wow.
I'm just messing around. The thing is that you... You.
Me.
Yes. Jesus. Well, I don't know how I'd ever get to do this. So I'm going to play Sifnos for its preference, which is an Electrum preference, and I have to discard another card to create a good. And I'm going to discard another Electrum card, so I'm going to create an Electrum good here.
Important question.
Yes.
Is Electrum a real thing?
I don't know.
Me neither. It's so funny that it's like bronze, marble, dye, timber, like very straightforward, like ancient times resources, and then Electrum.
100%. I have no idea what Electrum is. But I guess it makes sense that it's kind of magic-y because you're like creating something.
What's the like faction if Ephesus? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. They were real, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure they were real. And
if
so
that faction was Atlantis or something, I'd be like, okay, it's made up.
So this was the card I played. I discarded another Electrum card to make that Electrum good. This effect says convert an enemy temple at an island with an Electrum good, but you don't have any temples, and who knows if you're ever going to make any. So
No, never.
If I made this a quest, you definitely would not make a temple there because I would get to convert it. So I'm just going to discard that. I'm not going to keep that as a quest.
So now you're trying to bait me into making temples there.
No, I'm not.
What else you got?
It's gone. It's gone now.
Uh-huh.
Listen, it's gone.
It seems safe.
Yeah.
Okay. Why not? This feels powerful in a world where I don't really know what's powerful.
Great.
I am going to take a... Oh, wait. Oh, this doesn't work quite like I thought it did. Because if I take a die action that adds an island and can activate it, it's not the die card. It's another card that I place out as the island.
Correct.
Damn, because this is a die card that also I would be perfectly happy to put out as an island and activate it.
Yeah. Alas.
Okay. This seems fine though. I will do a... No. None of this works. It's very hard to end my turn with one card in hand. This is what I'm finding. It's like I'm trying to find a way to end with one card in hand and having...
Well, remember, you can get to an odd number of cards by just taking action B.
Action B is what? Oh, place a card directly as a ship or populace at your home island. That's true.
I mean, I'm not saying that you
that
necessarily want to do that, but, but you can.
That's true, but I think I'd rather just use the card that I would play as that bonus action and do all
Another way to
things.
do it is with this quest, because you'd play this quest and you'd add a temple, and you'd add from your hand a temple.
That's true.
Yeah, you got a few ways.
But alas.
Okay.
Okay. Here's what I'll do. I will take a die. I'll play a die card.
Yeah.
It says a die preference, so I can add an island, then may activate it. I am going to put Hersanisi onto that island, and then activate it. Draw a card for every island I control besides my home. So I'm going to draw 2 cards.
That's right.
This worked. This worked out.
Great.
As I'm doing the math here, because now the effect on the card that I've played says add a temple to every island you control.
Very nice.
Which will be 3 of my 4 cards. So all I have to do is figure out what card I want to leave to use as my bonus action.
Oh, wow, you're doing it all on this turn.
I'm doing it all this turn.
This is very impressive. This is high-level play.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
So that basic action it'll only be using its preference, and it will use the top card of my deck for like what it adds. My options here. I'm just thinking out loud because you're going to see all these cards. So my options are Marble, which would add a temple, a die, which could add another island or activate an island, or Electrum, which would create a good. I think I want to create a good.
Cool.
So I'm going to hold that card back.
Okay. So you're gonna
add these
temples.
as temples. Got so many temples all of a sudden. Just spread out.
Yeah, now actually, and there's going to be a good. I mean, it might not be an Electrum good though. Okay, so now you're going to.
Yeah.
You have 1 card left, so you're playing that for its preference.
Yes, so with my discipline ability, I'm playing my remaining card for its preference. It's Electrum, so I'm going to create a good. So I discard a card from my deck to determine the material.
Correct.
It is Marble.
So you take a card from the top of my deck.
Interesting.
Yep.
And I can place this at an inner island.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, I'll go ahead and put it here where I control it.
Very nice.
Now I have a Revered Temple.
You sure do.
And Electrum says then draw 2 cards.
And Electrum says then draw 2 cards. Oh! Yes, it does.
Did you do that?
I don't know, but it's fine. So if I didn't do it, it's good.
Okay, I think I did it. I think I did a turn.
Amazing. So I'm going to play Aegean, which has a marble preference, so I will create a temple here as well.
Whoa!
Thank you. And then its effect, which I'll use immediately, is... Do I want to use this effect immediately? I think I do. I'm going to draw 2 cards.
Okay.
Do I actually want to do that? You know what? No. I'm going to make this my quest. That's my quest.
Huh. Okay. I think I might actually do the place a card directly as a ship or populace. Oh, at your home island.
At your home island.
Shoot, so I can't get a second populace out here.
No, you need a bronze card. Well, you have a bronze card, it seems like.
I do. But then I can't trigger my ability and be all cool like that. So it's bronze or timber. Add a ship or sail any ships at one island. Why do you have a temple there? What are you doing?
It's revered, so I'm going to get to draw 1 more card.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. So I could sail that good away.
You could sail that good away and it won't be revered anymore. Yeah.
You have no cards in hand?
I have no
You're
cards in
like
hand.
definitely refreshing?
I'm definitely refreshing.
Oh, that is
Actually, that's not true.
interesting.
I could do this. Just
Oh,
to draw
your
the
quest
two
to draw
cards.
2 cards. I kind of think I might do that.
Yeah. Sure.
Because then I still have a revered temple, right? Because I'd be sailing that good home.
That's correct.
That seems fine. I'm looking at the effect on that card if I played my timber card here.
Mm-hmm.
It would not be helpful. Here's the problem.
You already have a quest.
My quest is to add a temple to an island for each populace and ship pair there. So if I sail the ship away too, I'm also setting that back.
Yeah, although you could always use that at your home island too.
Valid. That sounds great.
But you're not bringing a populace back with you right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you need to also have a populace.
Okay. I'll stop wasting time here and play my timber card. I will sail this good home.
Okay.
Foiling your plan.
Foiled.
Sorry.
That's fine.
For elbowing you there. I had to add some flair to my pulling out the good,
And so you have a point.
I do, I'm winning.
You're winning.
And so that was, so let's see, I can't do the text, and that's everything that the timber does, right? Yeah, so all that's left now is my discipline.
Mm-hmm.
I can play my bronze preference. And
And you have discipline again. Oh,
and I think I will.
Yeah.
Because check this out, Oh wait, it's not going to do its text.
Nope, it's only
damn,
gonna do
because its text would have been fine here.
Yeah.
But I will go ahead and add a populace at this same island.
Okay.
So that I have 2 here now.
Alrighty.
Okay, I have no cards in hand. That time it wasn't an Electrum bonus action, so I didn't get to draw 2. So
Bummer.
that
That's a cool
that
combo,
train
though.
stops rolling.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to refresh my hand. So I will draw to 5, because I do still have 1 revered temple. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh
5.
yeah, you do. Okay.
And then I'm going to trigger this faith thing. So conflict doesn't matter, because we're not fighting in any place.
Yep.
So faith says, before conflict, even if not necessary, discard 1 card from your deck. So I discarded Ipano Freya, which has a marble preference.
Mm-hmm.
Discard 1 card from your deck for each of your revered temples at inner islands, 1 island at a time. So sorry. So that was for over here, for 1 revered temple. For each discarded card, you may choose to create a good at that island by discarding a card from your hand matching the discarded card's preference. And so I will, because oh no, I won't, because I don't have any marble cards in hand.
This
Bummer. So that does nothing that time.
Oh, okay. This actually reminds me that my admiration should have triggered after my discipline just now, and I think it will do something. So we'll finish what you're doing, and we'll circle back to that.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
Okay. So I'm just gonna read this, make sure I get it right. But it says, after you use discipline, check the preference of the discarded card, which was this bronze card,
Yeah.
and of each inner island that you control. And is that checking their preferences also? Because that's also bronze on both.
No. Check the preference of
Check.
the discarded card and of each... Oh, yes, and the preference of each inner island you control.
Okay.
Yes.
As opposed to their material or the most common preference or anything like that. It's what's printed on the islands?
Right.
Okay. So at each island that matches, which is both of them, add a face-down card next to them as a statue.
Wow, you
Right, so
scored.
I'm getting-
you're at 5 points.
I'm getting a statue at each of these
That's incredible.
islands.
I feel like I'm getting crushed here.
The zoom-in view doesn't show my statue. It's got to be in its full glory here. Not vain glory, just glory.
Just glory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Candace in the chat says, hey. Hi,
Hey,
Candace.
Candace.
Interesting. So, Vainglory, you said, just destroys everything on the island, so I can lose statues that way? That's scary.
You know.
I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing, Jordan.
That's fine. So it's your turn again now, though. 'Cause
It is.
I
Okay,
know you
I'll
go.
take a refresh action.
Okay.
I have a revered temple, so I'll draw 5 total cards, because I
Okay.
had an empty hand.
Excellent. All right. I think...
Yeah, there's definitely some contemplation time here. And this is a stupid question, I think, but
I agree.
the abilities on these cards are also not symmetrical, right? You and I don't
Right.
have the same set of text.
Indeed, every card is unique.
Oh, across all
Across
220
all
cards?
220
There's no
cards.
2 factions that even have the same ability?
No.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
I like that. And like innovation is the same way. Like that's
No, it's very cool.
it's a very very fun facet of his abilities or of his
Yes.
games, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay, I would like, because you've been generous enough
Have I?
not to create a populace here and take over control of my island, I'm going to add a populace there.
Oh, well,
So-
should I have... Did I misplay? Should I have stolen your island?
You probably should have. No, I'm just kidding. I think you're doing great.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I will make this into a populace.
Okay.
A little loath to do. And then I can Zephyr your ship and a good from an island where you have a temple to another island. And so I will Zephyr this ship and this good from this island where I have a temple to another island, which will be this one over here.
Okay. That's... Why is it Zephyr, not just Sail?
It's not Sail because I could do it even if I didn't have control.
Oh. I missed that detail. Sailing...
In order to take goods from an island, you must control that island.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I don't believe the same is true of Zephyr.
I see. So I would like to take control of your island so that... So if I take control, theoretically, I'm guessing this doesn't happen in most games. If I can take control of your home island and sail away with your goods.
You sure can.
Fun. That sounds difficult to set up in a way that I'm guessing it's a 1 out of 10 games that someone pulls that off.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it depends. This is apparently Carl Chudyk's war game. So,
sure.
If that means anything.
Okay, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I might... Let's see. I don't have a timber card and would really like one to get another ship going. But I could play a timber card and send my ship back out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's...
And so, by the way, when I said there's no bonus for having different types of goods, the bonus is that your temples become revered for every different type of good. So they're not scoring better, but they're revering better.
Yes, I got that. Okay, yeah. So there is a reason to collect.
There is a reason to collect.
It's just not for endgame scoring.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
It's to draw more cards.
Yeah, to that end, actually, do I want to just create a good so that I have another revered temple? You would also, though. This is the... Oh, no, not if I put it up here.
Correct.
Ha! This is brain bending. All right, here. I think I'm gonna keep this easy.
Okay.
It's easy. I'm gonna complete my quest.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is bronze preference.
Okay.
So I am going to add a populace at an inner island.
Okay. I
do like the idea of temple to an island. I do like the idea of adding some populace to your island. That's what I'm trying to say here.
You can. We'll be tied, so I'll be winning. But if you add a second one...
Yeah, someday I'll get around to it.
Sure.
I will tuck this here.
Okay.
So that was for my bronze preference.
It was.
Then I am adding a temple to an island for each populace and ship pair of yours there for the quest, which is just adding a temple to my home island.
You have no populace at your home.
Oh, why did I think I had why did I think I had populace there? Okay, never mind. None of this works.
Okay.
This is fine. This is fine. I'm not fucking up.
Yeah, no, you're doing great.
Let's see. This is not easy to find a card where you like both its preference and its text. And you said when text says here, but you play it as like your action for the turn, here can be anywhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so.
The verbiage here just matters when it's like on an island. When you're activating an island.
I think also you have to, if it says here, you probably have to do the entire effect there. So if it has like 2 different pieces, you can't do it in 2 different places.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna take a... Yeah, alright, this is not a great turn, but I do want to get a populace on your inner island.
Okay.
So, I'll play this bronze preference card. I am going to tuck this card as a populace. And then the text of this card is draw 4 cards if you control any enemy's home island.
You don't.
Which I guess No. So the bronze effect is only inner island. So yeah, there's no way that I could resolve that. I don't think I want... Oh, I also don't have a quest open, so never mind. All right.
There you go. So
Five minutes later, I took a very simple little turn.
I'm going to play this quest out. I'm going to use it to create a temple. And, oh wow. I'm realizing I don't want to do this. God dang. This is hard.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I know this game's a lot.
It sure is. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. So I'm gonna do this. I lied. I'm making this into a temple. Actually, I'm gonna make a temple here.
Oh, okay.
Realizing I need to do that, and then I'm gonna draw 2 cards for its effect there. Okay.
Oh, that's an easy. See, like, so that card's unique.
Yep, that card's unique.
I'm surprised that out of 220 faction cards, only one of them says draw 2 cards on it.
There you go. But are you surprised that only one says add a temple to an island for each populous and ship pair of yours there?
Less surprised about that.
There you go.
Yeah. But the draw, like, sometimes I wonder if that is a needlessly self-imposed design restriction, and it could be a better game if some of those basic effects were represented in all 5 factions or something like that.
Maybe. But it could just be, maybe there's a variety, like draw 3 cards and discard 1.
Sure, yeah. But it is definitely a fun, like, selling point to the game that, that every card is unique.
It's good marketing.
For sure. Okay, I will play a die preference card. This lets me add an island and activate it, or activate an island I control. I'm thinking I will just activate Hersenisi up here, draw a card for every island you control besides your home, so that's 2 cards.
Cool.
And then the text of the card that I've played is add a temple to every island where you have more populace than temples. So I'm going to add a temple here and here.
That seems right.
And now I have to decide which cards.
Wow, you're getting really strong effects off over here.
I'm just going to I'll tuck this one as a temple. So go ahead, put a good there. Revere me. And then I need a temple here. Heck no. What's the deal with the symbol? This seems to be on all the die preference cards.
Yeah, so instead of having like the orange bar, the green bar, the white bar, it just has that purple shell.
Okay. Yeah. And I never. That's right. When you were explaining the game, I thought the placement of those bars might sometimes have some effect, but it's just that the bronze bar is always at the bottom with the populace as a reminder that you place populace as your bronze action.
Correct.
That's clever, actually.
There you go.
And I didn't notice it until now. But okay, that's my turn.
There we go. I am going to... What do I even want to do here? I think what I want to do is... a little annoying, actually.
Did you say that the island itself counts towards Vainglory?
Yes.
I'm just getting a little nervous here with seven out of 13 cards there. We're not that close, but I could see it happening before the end of the game.
Sure. Yeah, I'm realizing I should not have made this my temple. That was a bad mistake.
Oh yeah,
because I need
even though it's
some more ships.
It's
I have a ship here though. I do have a ship there. Oh.
Oh?
No, I don't like that. I like that though, so I might do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play... Oh man, this is a mess.
Check. Each round you control. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to play this for its marble preference, and I am going to... I'm going to add this temple here.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. You can talk it better than that, I'm sure.
Sure.
And then this says, Zephyr all your ships from one island to another island where you have a temple and no ships.
Okay, so
Oh,
you
wait a
can
minute,
send your
sorry,
ship to either of your islands?
I made a mistake. This has to go up here.
Oh, you're trying to send a ship up there?
I'm sending a ship over there
Why would you do that?
because then I get to activate that island. And so now I get to draw 2 cards. Oh no, besides your home island.
Oh, that's part of... I was like, why do you get to activate? It's part of the text of the card you played.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's actually not very good.
You get to draw a card.
This is terrible. I'm not doing this. Oh, no, it's fine. I'll just do it. It's too late. It's too late. I did it. All right, fine.
Okay. Well, I feel bad that you've been so unhappy with your turns because I think I've lined up another banger.
Oh, great.
It's not... so when Electrum, it says discard a second card from material, that's from your hand, right? I did it from the top of my deck because of my bonus action. But okay. So I don't think I can end up with 1 card in hand here, which would be great. But I can take this Electrum action, create a good, discarding a die for the material. Create a good, add an inner island, then draw 2 cards. So I was going to put it up here until you sent a ship there. I think I'll put it here.
Sure.
I'm not getting too vain there.
Yeah, no, of course not.
Oh, then draw 2 cards. I forgot about that part. Okay.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sack an enemy populace at an island where you have a temple. So I'm going to sack your populace here. And this is my island now.
Interesting.
Sack just discards it.
Yep.
And that's it. And then I do not have 1 card in hand, so I'm not doing any bonuses.
Yeah, having no populace is pretty bad.
Huh. And when something says to pay populace, does that mean discard it? It's
Yes.
like you're getting rid of
Pay
that card?
means
Okay.
sack, but of your own.
Okay.
Right.
Because pay 2 of your populace almost sounds like you're feeding your family. You're giving them a salary, right?
Sure.
But guess not.
Okay, I'm going to... Is this really what I'm going to do? No.
No?
No, I'm going to do this. I'm going to play this card for its populace, and I'm going to put this populace here so that I'm in control.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to save this as a quest.
Are my statues worth 2 points no matter what at the end of the game, or do I have to control the island?
No.
I have to control the island.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, good to know.
Scary. Okay. Don't love that. Okay, was that everything?
Mm-hmm.
This card is cool, but I need more cards to go with it. I think, so if I refresh my hand, I'm getting to 6. I have a Revered Temple at home and
Yep, you got 2 revered temples.
here. I think I'm just going to refresh to fill my hand from 2 to 6.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Alrighty. I am going to also refresh. So my hand is also going to go up to 6.
This hand doesn't work.
1, so 5 new cards. And
Okay.
then I will also do my faith thing, which I doubt will matter, but we're going to try it. Before conflict, discard 1 card from your deck for each of your revered temples at inner islands, 1 island at a time. So I only have 1 revered temple.
There's no good there.
Sorry,
This one's
this
revered.
one,
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
Okay.
So I got a white. Now, if I want to, I can choose to create a good at that island by discarding a card from my hand, matching. So I can
marble,
discard
okay.
a marble preference to create a marble here. The problem is that you're in control of this location, and so I'm not very inclined
Kind of
to
firmly
do
in
that.
control. You know?
So I will not.
Okay. Did we? Yeah, maybe we didn't. I'm thinking back, and we had 2 populace here for a little while. I'm worried that we missed a time that should have been conflict, but maybe we never refreshed while that was the case.
Maybe.
Okay. This. So when a card says add a populace here with a bronze preference, that's saying add a populace, but I have to have a card with a bronze preference to put down as that populace, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. This is a very funny card, but I don't think I can. Marble does what? Adds a temple. Forget temples. Who needs temples? I'm having a hard time finding a play here. Marble adds temples. What creates goods again? Electrum. See, I don't have any of the right preferences. Maybe I am just using option B and placing a card as a ship. Trying to get that what was purple gonna die? Trying to get that die home eventually. Sure. I'm gonna do that. I am going to I'm gonna just place this card as a ship and call that a turn. Ooh, if it can fit into this massive island that is
You did it.
becoming troublesome. There's 9 cards there now.
Wow.
What you got?
I'm going to play this card for its bronze preference, and I'm going to create a populace somewhere. And I think it's going to be this card I'm going to use, and I would like to. Do I want this back? I don't know how much I do want this back. No, because I want to make sure I continue to control this.
Interesting. Okay.
So I'm going to go there, and then I can create a good here, and then create a good of its material at each other temple island where you have a temple. And so in order to create a good, I have to discard a card.
Oh, shit. I just understood a card that I had been reading and thought it was not interesting, but it is interesting. Huh.
You know what? I actually am not going to play this card. I hope you don't mind terribly.
Nope, I don't. We're learning.
Because I'm realizing how valuable this is. So I will create a good, and I'm going to create a die good, and I'll create it here.
Whoa.
And then I'll use this effect. Sack or pay all populace belonging to the player in control at each island where you have a temple.
What?
So we'll sack these two, and I lose this one as well.
To the player in control at all islands where you have a temple, so
Yes.
including yourself. Still, that's absurd.
It seemed worth doing.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, that definitely foils my plan.
Excellent. I'm delighted to hear that.
Because I am not afraid to tell you now how do I to Zephyr 2 of my populace from an island to a home island, which I had been reading in my hand as to your home island.
Oh.
But no, I could have sent those 2 populace to your
Yeah, well,
island.
I do have one good here, so you might want to come for it. Oh, man.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Now I need
I
populace.
put this here, but this is actually going here. I'm so sorry.
You're not sorry.
I'm not sorry.
And now I have no populace anywhere.
Right.
I hope you're happy.
I am happy. That's why I did it.
Yeah. You did, by moving that, you increased the number of revered temples you have, but you also increased the number of revered temples I have.
I know, but that would have been the case anyway. Actually,
Yeah.
here you had... Oh, no, yeah.
If only I had a bronze card.
If only.
Man. Okay. I think... Oh. What? This is... Alright. Alright, so I can play effects, like... We've said that the verbiage here applies anywhere. Does it have to be a place I control? Oh, I do control up here now.
You do.
So it's a moot question.
Correct.
Okay. So I'm going to play this Electrum card. This is going to... Let me think about this. It's going to... I'm trying to figure out if I can also end my turn with one card. This is going to add 4 cards from my hand, but draw 2 cards. I think it actually works.
Don't forget you have to discard a card.
Oh, that's right.
Good.
Yep. So let's I actually... Oh man. Okay. I'm going to create a good here. It's going to be a marble. Thank you. Then I draw 2 cards from the Electrum action.
Okay.
Now this card says, add a population here, then pay a good here, add a populace to every island with a good. Mm-hmm. And so here, it's a new decision where here is, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I will add a populace. I'll add a populace up here and pay this die.
Okay.
So that's basically just returned to its deck.
Correct.
Paid that good. Add a populace at every island with a good. So I'm adding it to 1, 2, 3 islands.
That's right.
And that will leave me with 1 card in hand.
Wow, you're really
So
cool.
this worked great. The only question is which one do I want it to be? I think it'll be... I'm going to hold back this card, so I'll add a populace here. Oh, no, there's no good there. Add a populace here, at home, and at your home. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And then that's that card. And then for my discipline, I can play... I guess I could have constructed more statues by holding back the bronze card, but it's fine. I wanted to do the timber action. So I'm just doing the timber preference for my bonus discipline action, which will sail... Oh, you know what? There's 2 goods there. You're not gonna screw with that, right? I'll use the timber action that adds a ship at an inner island, using the top card of my deck. So that hopefully I can take those both home, hopefully. With that, and with 9, 10 cards at this island, my turn is done.
13's the number to get rid of it?
13's the vein number, yeah.
So I need to add 3?
You need to not add 3.
Okay, got it. Nice.
And now I'm sitting here with no cards in hand. This is scary.
I can add 2.
Good. That's not 3.
God, it's actually very annoying that I'm bad at this game. It's very difficult.
It's a hard game.
It's a hard game. Okay, what do I want to do here? None of these effects are useful.
And if I win, we can just blame faction imbalance. I'm sure the comments won't come to us if after 1 play we claim this game's imbalanced, right?
I can already say definitively that this game is imbalanced.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to...
You could just do your quest. Just add 3 temples here to the island you control.
Thank you. That's a good
seems fine. Oh, how many cards in my deck?
Okay.
11.
I'm going to... Yeah, if only I could really do this, but I can't. So... Oh, and that's the whole reason why it doesn't work. Oh, wow. This game is well designed. Okay. I'm going to do this, I guess, to add a populace somewhere.
Okay.
Because I'm out of control everywhere. And I will add a populace. I should probably... Well, you don't even have any boats here. So I'm not that worried.
No, I'm not stealing your Electrum terribly soon. Right.
So I'm going to add a populace here. And then I'm going to create a good, and I will discard... I'm going to discard this card for its Electrum preference. So it says create a good here, and then create a good of its material at every other island where you have a temple.
Whoa.
So basically every island is going to get one of these.
Whoa.
And
okay.
So we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. And we'll do that.
So everywhere but my home island.
Everywhere but your home island, because at your home island I don't have a temple.
That got scary.
There you go.
Wow. So tell me about sailing again. Sailing is not defined here on our reference. What I have to control an island to sail from it?
No, you have to control an island to sail with goods from it.
Okay.
So when you sail, for each ship... Sorry. To sail a ship, move it from one island to any other, except that it cannot move from one home island to another home island. A ship can carry one good or one of your populace. The ship and carried card are tied to the destination island. You can only carry a good if you controlled the originating island before sailing. The sail keyword is also used by the basic timber action.
Okay, so to steal any of your Electrum would be pretty difficult.
You'd
I'd have to get ships there, get them back to an inner island, and then take them home. Or at least, I mean, I guess getting them to the inner island still subtracts your points.
It does. You have to get a ship out here first, too.
Right. But so my question was, like, can I sail there? And although I was wondering if I had to control it, I do control your home, huh?
You do control my home, but you don't need to control my home
Right.
to sail here. You need to control only to take goods with you. And I assume you wouldn't bring any goods with you.
That would stand to reason, yeah.
Right.
Well, what I'm doing this turn is refreshing.
Okay.
I can't even complete my quest because I don't have a card to add for its bronze preference, right? I think
Well, you don't have to do the text. You can just use this as the bronze preference. Oh, but you don't have a card.
No.
So, in that case, yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 revered temples.
Pretty good.
I'm drawing 9 cards.
That's right. That's very good. Wow, I'm in trouble.
That leaves 2 left in my deck.
Okay. I am also going to be doing this refresh thing. And I'm going to draw a similar number of cards, I think, because
Yeah, you probably are.
1, 2, 3, 4 revered temples. So
Okay,
I'll draw
so 8.
8 cards. Up to 8, so I already got 1. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. And then I'm going to do my faith triggers for every inner island with a revered temple. We still don't have conflict, which is interesting. Oh man, that's actually...
Yeah.
You know what? I drew all these 8 cards. I'm not going to do that.
No?
Because I'm going to do this instead. Add 3 temples to an island you control. But I'm actually not doing that. I'm just using that for its preference to add a populace here.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I control this island again. Okay, back to you.
Okay. Well, I can quickly change that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the way to go?
Hey Matt, how's it going? This is just like Monopoly.
This is Monopoly. It is basically
it's
Monopoly.
basically
Yeah,
just
we are
Monopoly.
trying to monopolize, I guess, everything.
Yeah, I'm feeling monopolized. You're the railroad Spartan. Oh, sorry, the railroad Spartan. The railroad Titan of ancient Sparta. Oh man, you can tell that I was trying to play this at 2 a.m. last night.
Is that right? You're the failed play you referenced was at 2 a.m.?
Yeah, exactly, or 1 a.m. or something.
Okay. What? Some of these cards do insane things. That's so wow. So okay, I'm just for the sake of the video,
Okay.
I'm going to marvel at this out loud.
Great.
So I have a card that says change an enemy ship anywhere into a good.
Cool.
And the fact that an effect that dramatic exists scares me against sending ships to your home. Because if you did something, even though I realize you wouldn't have a card that does exactly that, but if you can change enemy ships into friendly populace or something, then I'm just feeding you.
Well, I don't think I could change them into friendly populace, because if I made them populace, they would be unfriendly, right? Like, if you changed my ship, it would be a marble. Maybe, yeah.
Oh. Change it into a good, I guess it would be a marble, because it would be,
It's the same card.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That's, so anyway, send your ships to me.
Okay, great. I'm on it.
Okay. So I need to accomplish 2 things. I need more points from goods.
Okay.
And I need to make sure that my statues aren't blown up by the gods.
Wonderful.
So I am going to play a timber card.
Okay.
And we'll see how this goes. First I'll take the timber action. I'm going to sail from this inner island to my home.
Okay.
I forgot I have a ship. I have ships here. Or a ship. I'm going to take a marble and an electrum.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Doubles up my marble and denies you access to an electrum, which
Sure.
that's your route to victory here, is getting like 4 electrum.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what has to not happen.
Right.
Then what this card says is add a populace here with timber preference. I'm going to make here your home island.
Okay.
Right? So that's a populace.
Right.
The card that I just handed you. Then add 1 or more ships here. And
1 or more. How many you want to add?
I didn't think about that.
Could be 3.
1 or more. I actually
be
did
2.
not think about that at all.
That's crazy. You can add 1 or more ships.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't need. I'm not gonna need marble actions anymore. So let's took these 2 marble cards as ships
Okay.
in Athens.
I'm in trouble. All right. Well, now I'm going to draw my 8 cards. Oh, no,
Okay.
it's less now. Oh, no, it's not. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yeah, it's still 8 cards. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we're going to do the Faith. So before conflict, discard 1 card from your deck for each of your revered temples at an inner island.
Okay.
So here we go. I have a revered temple here. Mm-hmm. It's purple, so I could discard a purple card to make a purple good there. I'm not going to do that. Okay. Then at this island, I've got 1. Okay, it's purple. I'm not going to do it again.
You do it. You discard at that many times?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Brown, so I could make a timber good up there. And I'm not going to do that either. Okay, so I did all of that, and it'd be 1 per revered temple, but I only had 1 at each place. Now it's conflict time. So.
Oh, there's conflict in Athens.
Discard the top card of your deck.
Okay.
Oh my god. It's purple. Wait, no, it might be fine. Purple.
No, it doesn't match the material there.
Damn, I was really hoping to fight you
Oh,
off.
yeah, you had a 60% chance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what happens when you... 2 if you control the island. Okay, so you would not...
But I would kill 1, and that would give me control.
Yeah, so I don't think... Since it says sack 2 instead if you control the island, I don't think you would sack 2 there.
No,
but still,
I would
just,
still get
just
control
gaining
back,
control
which would save me
would be
from-
very strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you can just sail away, presumably.
Presumably.
Although, I don't know if you have a timber...
I did have to spend an extra timber card for that.
So let's see what you got.
Not a timber card.
Oh, excellent! I'm
what I
delighted
got.
to hear that. I'm delighted to hear that.
Yeah. What happens if you need to discard the top card of your deck for something like preference and there are no cards left in your deck? Or for something like conflict and there are no cards left in your deck? Because I'm thinking about a refresh action here. Despite having 5 cards in hand, I can, like, right now, it's in my favor if the game ends soon.
Yeah, totally. I think that would end the... Well, actually, I see what you're saying. Like, would I have 1 more turn?
Would you have 1 more turn? Would the conflict happen at all? Like, I could just, shuffle my discard pile and use it for that purpose or something like that.
Good question. Let me...
Or we could use another faction's deck.
Let me tell you the answer to that. When your deck is empty, the game is nearing its end. If instructed to draw cards when your deck is empty, draw as many as you can. This could be none. That effect is still considered complete. Mm-hmm. So an empty or near empty deck does not prevent you from executing an effect. If you would check for conflict when your deck is empty, do nothing instead. If you need to draw a card from a deck to become a good and the deck is empty, tuck the top card of that discard pile. So that's the only exception. So it would not happen. There would be no conflict, and I would still get... And the game would not end.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think the game would end, but my question was, do we do an alternative thing to resolve conflict or what? Okay. So I still think I'm going to do that because for me, that does 2 good things. I may draw a timber card, or I may just decide to end the game next turn if I would win. So I will take a refresh action, draw on the rest of my deck. I have no cards left, and that's my turn. Conflict would happen, but can't because I'm out of cards.
Right.
So that's interesting. Okay, you're up. So if this turn doesn't put you in the lead, I can end the game. So that's what you got to do, is figure out how to intimidate me into not ending the game. Huh. Interesting.
I'm realizing that I know more now about how to play this faction. Obviously,
yeah, I would say so. I'm really enjoying this.
It's great, right?
Yeah. We were saying I've liked some of Chudyk's games and disliked others, and I'm really liking this.
So right now I'm not winning, right? You've got 5 here. You've got 9 points.
You only have 4 points,
and
right? And I have 9. Yeah. So
I would need 2 more Electrum here to win, and I would need to stop you from sailing away.
If you sail, if you sail home that Electrum,
I can't because I don't control here.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I was thinking you could tie it up, and then I'd ask you what the tiebreakers are.
I do have a way to create more Electrum here, so I could. But if you have a sail, you can just leave with it, right? And I'm hoping. I guess I can just hope you don't have a sail.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you.
That's amazing. Okay. That's what I'm going to do.
I've done some talking about my hand for the benefit of the video. I am not going to tell you that.
Sure. Okay. So, where is that action that would let me do that? Okay. And actually, it's better than that because what I will do is I will use this for its bronze preference.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I will
add a populace.
A card. Yes, I'll add a populace, and it will be this one. So now I'm back in control here.
And
then
no, wait. The bronze action is add a populace at an inner island.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You're correct. Bummer.
Yeah, I think it's possible that we've screwed that up in the past.
No, you're right.
But I think
because you can always do B and just add a card here, but that doesn't.
Oh, true.
Right. So,
yeah.
But I'm not going to do that because I do. So I am going to add a populace at an inner island. I guess I'll just. Oh, well, it doesn't really matter. I guess I'll just choose this one, and then I'll create a good here, being here, and then a good at each island with a temple of its material. Meaning, I'm going to create an Electrum here. Oh, I have to discard an Electrum to do it. So here's the Electrum.
Okay.
And then I would create, and actually, by the way, I am going to put this populace up here because I'm realizing maybe I'll have an effect later that will matter for.
Sure.
And then I would create at every place with a green temple, but there are none, so it only gets created there.
Okay.
And so now I have 9 points to your 9 points.
So if I ended the game now, it would be a tie, which means I would like to know what happens in a tie.
Yes.
Because if I would win the tiebreaker, I can just snap my fingers and win, I think.
I think
by
that's
taking
right.
a refresh action, especially because
ties are broken in favor of the player who took a turn last. So you would
which would be me.
Yeah.
So I think that's the play, right?
Yeah, but there's nothing I could have done about that. That's pretty good.
I do have a timber card, which means I could sail away with 2 of your Electrum.
Yeah.
I do not have more timber cards to actually take them home, but that still is like, if you were up by 1 point, I could probably do that and then end the game and win on the followally turn.
Yeah, probably.
Hopefully, depending on what you have. But yeah, so I'll take the refresh action. It sounds like... Actually, I'm not clear on whether I could end the game if my hand was literally full, but I do have enough Revered Temples that I should draw a couple cards here.
Yeah.
And so, game ends.
Game ends.
It ends in a tie.
Well, you won.
You're right. A tie where the tiebreaker
I feel like
goes
even
to
though we had an equal number of points, you were in a dominant position, for sure.
It felt like it. I felt like I did well.
Yeah, you played very well.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
This was a blast. I really, really liked this.
Yes, we should definitely play some more.
I'm down. No, thanks for watching. This was, man.
It's one of the factions. Lauren, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's a Age of Innovation faction.
Oh, okay. What you been playing a lot lately? How does this compare?
This is quicker. It's simpler. It's probably equally cutthroat, maybe a little more cutthroat even.
I asked that mostly like joking because I figured they had very little in common. Very little direct comparisons you could draw between this and a fairly large resource management game.
Yeah, I mean there is competition over controlling areas of the board and stuff, kind of.
Okay.
So, anyway, but you're right. Yeah, it's not very similar.
But yeah, I mean, I think I like that. If we're talking Chudyk games, which they're easily comparable to one another because they have so much in common.
Right.
I think I like this better than Glory to Rome. That's gonna be controversial.
Shouldn't have said that.
I'm not sure I like it better than Innovation. I like Innovation a lot.
I like Innovation a lot too, but I think for me, Innovation is really a 2-player game.
Yes.
And I think this game probably will play well at 3 and maybe even 4.
Does this play to 5?
Sure does.
Wow, that would be chaos.
That would be chaos. But I think at 3 or 4 it might be good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and I don't actually own Innovation, partly because I don't play that many 2-player games, and the ones that I do play are generally with like my husband, who's on the lighter gamer side, and also for whatever reason his preferences, he likes a board. He doesn't tend to like games that are just cards. Like he'll enjoy trick-taking games,
sure,
but not like a Flesh and Blood or something where there's not like a central board that we're manipulating. For whatever reason, that's a part of him having fun.
Well, this might be in the middle because it's got these locations
maybe
that you're moving around.
Potentially,
maybe.
but yeah. So like I don't think the Innovation is a good fit with Ryan,
Fair.
and so this is the first one that maybe I would actually buy because I could play it with. Like I said, I usually play with more than 2 players, and so this seems better for that than Innovation.
I think that's probably right.
Glory to Rome is good multiplayer too.
Yep.
Oh.
And I mean, just because you're mentioning Innovation so much, there is a Kickstarter running for Innovation right now.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh.
In case you want the 4th edition of Innovation with all the expansions. Not that you might want to.
My experience with Innovation expansions has been kind of meh.
I've only ever played with one of them.
I've played with 1 or 2.
Okay. Yeah.
It's they're fine,
Yeah.
but I've never really felt like it was a better game with the expansions than without.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what this... I mean, I don't think there are any expansions coming for this, but I imagine that if there were, they would be just more factions.
I guess, but in
then you'd have to go
theory
back
more
and add
factions.
preferences
I was gonna
to
say,
every other deck,
in theory, more factions would be more basic actions.
Yeah.
And entire new decks of theoretically all unique
Right.
effects.
Right.
That would be big. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of meat here, because obviously you have the decks which are different, they have different distributions of actions, but then they also have their own special powers.
Right,
Plus there's
right.
3 we didn't play with that have their own special powers.
I'm eager to see those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, awesome. I had a great time.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you for bringing and teaching me.
Yeah, of course.
Aegean Sea.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Again, if you enjoyed this, or if you didn't, we'd appreciate if you like the video.
Absolutely.
Subscribe to the channel. That's the one and only way to help us out and help us grow. And we'll be back soon for more games, more talking, all the cool things you can do on a gaming YouTube channel, I guess.
Absolutely. Thanks
Till
very
then,
much.
be optimal. You thought we were on, but we're not, because we realized we missed a major, what would have been a pretty dramatic
Pretty dramatic
roll,
moment,
right?
yeah.
Remind us how Athens should behave at the end of the game.
Yes, and this is my fault entirely for forgetting, but essentially what it does is, at the end of the game, or earlier if you were the one to end the game, but whatever the case, you'll take the top card of your deck and discard it, and depending on its preference, for every revered temple with the same preference, that is a decadent temple, and you'll score 5 points. And so I had revered temples in a few locations.
You had at least 2, maybe more colors of revered temples.
I think I had 3 colors.
Yeah.
And so I would have drawn a card, I would have discarded a card from the top of the deck, and if it matched any of those, that would have been 5 more points for me, bringing in the win. Which probably, if we'd recognized that, you would not have.
I probably would have sailed away with 2.
You would have sailed away with 2 of my Electrum,
yeah.
yeah. Which you probably still would have won in that case, because you taking away those Electrum, those would have been very difficult for me to get back.
Yeah.
So in the long run, I don't think it would have changed the result. But
maybe not.
We did miss that rule about decadence.
Yeah. So that's a bummer, but you know, I actually feel like we played mostly pretty. You know, now when the commenters correct 5 different things, I'm going to eat my words. But I feel like we played the game pretty smoothly. It was actually like not that bad to learn.
I think that's right. I mean, the problem with these games is the first few games are always going to be messy.
Yeah.
With all the Chudyk games, but that was a big mistake on my part. And you know, if I was really sly, I would have not told you and said, "Okay, Brandon." Don't forget that there's this decadence effect.
Rude.
And then I would have drawn a card that didn't match, you know, as my karmic punishment.
Right. Well, and that's doubly... so, if the game ends before you... so, let's see.
So if the game ends, if your deck ever has 1 card left in it...
that's right.
That will be the one. If the game ends before that, you take the top card of your deck face up. And
so you could, so if your deck ever has exactly 1 card, you flip it over, and then you can make some decisions about whether to end the game accordingly, or whether to play another turn or 2. You're out of cards at that point, so it's not like the game's going to go on long.
Correct.
But, okay, that's really interesting for Athens.
It's also interesting because we were just talking about how for roads, your ship's preferences matter, but your preferences really matter for your temples in Athens, and you can decide, I'm going to put all purple preference temples out there, all die preferences, and hope to hit a die, or maybe arrange my deck to hit a die if those effects exist. Or, I need an even spread of the different colors of purple,
Right,
so that
right. So you'll get 5 points. 5 seems like a lot. I don't know if it's just because we are noobs, but like two or three of one type of good was really all we were scoring.
Yeah, I've heard that in early games a single-digit score is quite common. Sure. I don't know if that changes in a more experienced play. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, we just thought that was a big enough deal that that we wanted to chime back in.
Yeah, with the rules correction.
Exactly. So for real this time, be optimal.
And we're back with one more.